It's going down this Friday. Cooper Housley against Pono Pau in the heavyweight division. This one is going to be a banger. Cooper, how excited are you to put your skills on display? Power slap number 10 from Fontainebleau.
Oh, I'm stoked for it, dude. Pono and like really just all the heavyweights coming out of this season. I was a pretty big fan of. I thought we had some badasses in there between Pono, Bryce, and James. I think they were all in. Were those the three new?
Yeah,
I know
and
there was
West Minna as well. Four.
wasn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if my knowledge isn't the best on the show. But yeah, we had a handful of badasses that are coming out of it. So I'm excited that I got matched up with one of them. I saw whenever Pono was about to fight James on the show. I was like, "Shit, let me get the winner here." And I'm glad I'm getting to fight one of them though. So I'm really excited going into it. I'm just hoping for the best. Been working, training. God's got me. I've got God. Here we are.
Absolutely. You know, I'm sure you've seen the interview that I did with Pono previously, but I actually think this one can be very entertaining. I think Pono brings an energy. Obviously, your pro wrestling background, I think you can bring that energy. I think from an entertaining standpoint, this can be one of the most fantastic fights of the night in the heavyweight division. Both of you guys bring in the lumber. You have incredible strikes on both sides and the defense. I think this can be phenomenal. Breaking down Pono's game, what have you seen of him in the matches that we've seen on the show?
Dude's really freaking solid. I didn't realize I'd met him once or twice before. I want to say, I swear I met him at the PI one time beforehand, but he just brings a hell of a swing with him. His defense is pretty solid. Siegman ended up sitting him down in that last fight they had, but I mean, I wouldn't look at that as a knock on Pono in the slightest. Siegman's a bad dude. I think he's going to be one that he's going to be a top contender for a little bit. I think he's a pretty bad dude, but Pono, he has the knockout power. He has a bit of a chin to him, and if he's just been working that, like I'm not gonna sit here and none of this stuff's ever gonna come easy, especially when you hit a certain point. So I don't want to sit here and try to be big and bad and be like, oh, it's gonna be the easiest fight of the night. Like hell no, we're gonna stand across from each other. We're gonna hit the mess out of each other, and hopefully someone goes out and get a little bit of extra money to the winner. But if not, then you're just gonna see a dogfight, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it can be entertaining through and through. Do you think the experience is going to help you in this match?
I think it'll help to an extent because I mentioned it a little bit in the last interview we did. There's a bit of a difference between the show and between doing the live events. And it's down to, I think that you get the rules scrutinized a little bit more. They're enforced a little bit more on these live events. You have the crowd going. You have a lot more cameras, a lot more just lights, everything. So, and most of my fight, or all of my fights so far, have been on the pre-show. So while yes, the experience in terms of the slap, like I think it'll be helpful. The more you do this, the better you're going to get at it, just in general. But I don't know that I have as much of an advantage as I'd like to, I guess. But
Mhm.
um, I'm used to getting up in front of people. I don't know how much Pono's used to getting up in front of people like that. Like I know he's big in the casinos and stuff, and most of what I see is him posting like casino wins and him just being a good dad, and I'm like, hell yeah, all right, cool, cool. Some of those ones where I'm looking forward to it, and
Mhm.
shit, we just gotta see what happens.
You know, is there? It sounds like there's at least a lot of mutual respect outside of it. It seems like you're going to put that aside when you go up there and compete. But it seems like there's a lot of respect now, and there's going to be respect to follow. Is that accurate?
My big thing with it is so many people are like, oh, you probably hate this dude going into it. And I'm like, no, a lot of these dudes I've either only met a couple of times and interacted with them online, or like I've met them at a show and I'll hang out with them. We'll go grab some drinks, we'll do whatever. And so it takes a good bit for me to really dislike someone. Like you just kind of have to be a complete bag of dicks for me to not have that level of respect. Like as long as is like we're at the same level. I'm the same level as everyone else that doesn't have a belt. So it's one of those things to me like I'll have all the respect in the world. You're up there doing the same dumb stuff I'm doing. You're doing
Mhm.
it at the same level in front of the same fans. Like I have all the respect in the world for anyone that steps up here and does this. It's once these people start like talking shit, and then it's the guys that are fouling all the time or getting knocked out all the time. And it's like, all right, that one I'm going to respect a little bit less. But in
Mhm.
terms of Pono, I have nothing but respect for him. Like I said, dude's a hell of a dad, hell of a dude. Um, I love seeing his posts, his little inspirational posts. I follow him on Instagram. I see him all the time, and it's those things where it's just like you get two bad motherfuckers that like each other fighting, and I think sometimes that almost bodes more well than the ones that don't. I feel like sometimes when you don't like the dude you're in there with, you can get sloppy, you can try a little too hard, you can do some stuff like that. But you get two dudes that really like you, like don't really dislike each other. They're just there for the sport. They're just there for the, we both got families, we got to feed them, and that's pretty
Mhm.
much what it comes down to. And so I'm really excited for it. I think those are the ones that I prefer.
For sure. What do you think your keys to victory are going to be in this one?
I've been working a lot more on my striking. I've been doing more defensive work going into my last couple of fights, and I don't want to say that I didn't completely take my foot off of that the gas with that. I'm still working on that, but I've done a lot more striking work going into this one because I felt like if you look at my strikes against Stevie, even the one where I caught him low and clubbed him, my strikes bring a lot more power in that fight than they did when I fought Logan. You could see I
Mhm.
wasn't looking back on it. I watched it back. I'm like, oh, I didn't really put my upper body through it. My follow through wasn't there, and so it's a lot of just I'm swinging at the hips, and so I wasn't putting nearly as much power into my shots as I could be, and just really getting back to work on just ground level of my form. I've just been trying to start over almost to make sure, like watching back what I did with Stevie, watch some of these other guys that are getting knockouts pretty consistently, trying to figure out where I can change up that swing, what exactly needs to happen for it to result in more knockouts. And so I'm going to try to put that to the test and we'll see if it works.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see. I could see this one going deep, and I actually think potentially the new rule change that was just implemented in Nevada, where if a match ends in a draw after 3 rounds, they're gonna add an additional round to it to get a definitive winner. Do you like that new rule change?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think you're going to have, it's going to result in more finishes. You're going to get more knockouts. I think you're going to test these guys' grit a little bit more because some people are used to only getting hit 2-1 whenever they have to get hit 4 times. Let's see if they can really stand up the same as they would versus only getting hit once, only getting hit twice. And
Mhm.
I think everyone's different. Everyone's going to have a different reaction to it. I think the overall reaction so far from what I've seen out of the strikers has been pretty positive because at the end of the day, nobody wants to get a draw. Nobody wants to go out there and feel like they won and then not get paid for winning. No one wants to go out there and feel like like something could still be done. And so I think that last like overtime round essentially is what it in a sudden death round. I
Mhm.
think it's really good for the sport as a whole. I think it's good for people's records. I think it's good for people's pockets. I'm a big fan of it. And I think if we end up having to bust it out with me and Pono, hell of a way to be the first to do it. I'll be excited for it.
Awesome, man. If Pono Paul is watching this interview, what do you want to say to him?
Man, I'm excited for it. I like the shit I've seen out of him so far. He's a good dad. He's a good dude, good Christian man. I love to see it. I love the stuff he posts on his socials all the time. I'm going into this with nothing but love and respect for the dude. Him and his brother both have always been super cool to me, and they're some of the dudes that I talk to the most when I'm in Vegas or just every day. And I'm just really looking forward to it. Just I think it's going to be a hell of a hard hitting, all out, dog out. Hopefully someone goes down. We'll see. But I just think like just nothing but excitement on my end. I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome, my dude. One last one for you. You can have a little fun with it. If you were a Pokemon, which one would you be?
Oh God, I gotta think now because they add new ones like every other year now. So? Are we talking any Pokemon ever? Original
Ever. Yeah.
150? Okay. Um, there's one in my head. It's the legendary from White. I think it's a dragon and a fire type. I think it's Reshiram. It's either Zekrom or Reshiram. Pretty
Okay.
sure the one from White's Reshiram. Just a badass little majestic guy doing its thing.
Gotcha. I don't know that one, but if I had to
That's
pick
what I was
one,
saying. It's
if
like
I
if
had
we
to
go.
pick one, I actually think you're a Blastoise, my man.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Awesome, dude. Look forward to see you in Las Vegas. Travel safe weight cut if you got to drop any weight, and we'll see you there as part of the live show Thursday night from Stadium Swim.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.